Hello YouTube, it's been a while. I want to show you my new system, though it's not that new. I put this in a year ago and made a few videos, didn't like them, didn't post them. So hopefully I like this one enough to post it. It's I just finally got everything done on it except for one thing, and I'll go into that in a minute. This used to have a 5-ton York air handler in it with 25 kW electric heat. I had a 3.5-ton 10-SEER heat pump outside. Single stage, of course, 15 years old. And let me turn these sideways so you can get a better view. So what we've got there is a 98% YP9C 80,000 modulating gas furnace sitting on top of a 4-ton coil TXV. Cup outside, I've got an 18-SEER Affinity YZH 36 2-stage heat pump. And I'll shoot some of the video of that. Well, you're seeing the furnace sits up on brackets. Got one there and one here. Coil sits up on brackets. That was to allow me space between the floor and the bottom of the coil so that I can make use of the old 125 amp circuit for the old air handler, electric heat kit. And I'm going to put an electric heat kit in this plenum, which I guess you could call it a tri-grid. So it's a hybrid with electric heat, but most of the time it's going to be heat pump electric heat. I use the gas furnace sparingly because the heat pump is actually more efficient than even the 98% gas furnace. I got the gas furnace just so that I can really familiarize myself with it since I sell it, and that's my high-end furnace. You can see I flashed in the floor, and I will put a wet switch in. I got one more detail to do with the floor. I've got to put a brake here and caulk this all in real well so that any water that hits this floor up to 1 inch deep gets trapped, and we'll set off the wet switch long before it gets to be 1 inch deep, and then I will get an alert and it'll shut down. I won't run my floor out here. Okay, so I showed you the furnace inside. I'm checking the charge. This might be one of the last warm days we have. So that's my wet bulb inside. We're in low right now. I've never checked it in low speed, so I wanted to do that. And see what we have here. We got, this is the pressure temperature chart, basically. It's telling you, what the condenser, refrigerant, and evaporator temperature is supposed to be. Now there's our subcooling and low, so it's only 1.2 now. When I set the charge in the past, it was between 8 and 10 on high. So I'm going to switch it up to high here shortly. My superheat's 10. It's fluctuating. It fluctuates between 8 and 10. So, oh look, there's the subcooling's coming up now. It's 2.2. Woo! 2.3. But there's a little bit of a story behind the charge. I had to put a little bit more in it than I thought when I first started it. I weighed in the correct amount for the line and the coil, and ended up still being 1.5 pounds short. So that's why I'm monitoring it. I want to make sure I don't have any leaks in this outdoor unit over time. But it's been performing well. I'm going to let you have a good look at it. I don't think I've really showed you the heat itself. Back away here from it a little bit. See, I've got it on a concrete slab. I poured for it. It's a nice unit. I like it a lot. It's real quiet. Okay guys, I could do a whole production on this thermostat alone. This is the Vinstar Color Touch thermostat. These are pretty good thermostats in my opinion. The only fault that I can think of, if you want to nitpick, is the clock isn't super accurate. But see, it says 325. Oh, it's 325. So I set that about a week ago. It'll hold for a month or so, and it'll drift. But pretty cool thermostat. It's got, as you saw, it's got a screensaver that you can put your own pictures into. It's also got tons of other options. You've got 4 stages of heat, and it's just a really cool thermostat for the money. I wanted to go ahead and switch this into second stage cooling. So right now I'm saying it's 81 outside. I can check and see that the low last night was 53 and the high today has been 82. And it's 81 right now, so it's dropped a little bit, 1 degree. Got different, I'll just go through this real quick. Here's a main menu screen. You can hit emergency heat in here. It's got vacation settings for your programming settings. Up here you can program the fan, change the display options. You set your schedules, your screensaver, do your filter alerts, your UV bulbs, humidifiers, whatever. The information screen is kind of cool. You can view runtime graphs and see. We can look at the last 7 days of cooling. Oh, very little cooling usage over the last 7 days. So it's been cool out, but that's why I'm checking this today. It's gotten warm. Heating. So we did some heating. It's all been on first stage, and it would show a different line for all the different stages. That's about it, guys, on the thermostat. I might do another video on this another time, but let's go ahead and bump down. Now we're on second stage, and we should see better subcooling than 2.3 or whatever we saw before. And yeah, better already. So we're going up to high speed now. It was, we had a 65-degree wet bulb inside. It's 82, 83 degrees out here today. That's what this thermometer is saying, but this is baking out in the sun, and my thermostat's tied to the north side of the house, of course, under an eave. A great big eave. But it gets fooled a little bit because I get a little bit of heat from the attic late in the day, and it does, late in the day, it'll be a few degrees. But so we're going to let this run for 10 minutes, and I'll come back and we'll check the subcooling against the chart on the corner post. And at 65, we'd fall between 62 and 67. That's probably not legible, but I'll just explain. This has got 57, 62, 67, and 72 wet bulb across the top. It's got your outdoor ambient along the left side, and then it's got your liquid pressure with your required subcooling. So the subcooling varies quite a bit. I mean, it can be from 5 to, I don't see the highest one, maybe there's 11. So that, you know, it really isn't always the same with York. For some reason they've got it, so you really have to pick out the subcooling with this information. So we were between 80 and 85. We're going to come over here. We should be seeing between 313 and 361. We should have between 9 and a 10 subcool. So we just switched. We're going to let this run a good 10, 15, 20 minutes.